Hey there, everybody, and welcome to this week's show. It is jam-packed with all kinds of summer treats, hot topics, cool stories, and a little something special for the SD-WAN fan in all of us. I'm Larry Brantley, and this is UCaaS Connection. We've got a lot to get to this afternoon. Rob Butler, one of the founding fathers of Channelpalooza, is here with an update on this year's event. Digital Realty's Morgan Granfield is talking data centers, and Eric Brooker will join us to tease an exciting new show premiering this week, the SD-WAN Show. But first, Nancy Seco has this week's headlines, and I'm told she's reporting from the road. But I'm not sure from where or why. Nancy.
Thank you, Larry. I'm reporting this week from beautiful Lake Travis near Austin, Texas, getting ready for Channelpalooza. It's going to be a great event.
Wait, what? It's not until August? I don't know if I can wait that long. Well, who's going to pay for my hotel? Yes, will you please get back to me on this?
Going now from live events that we can't wait for to virtual events that are becoming the norm. ScanSource's first ever Go Remote Virtual Summit attracted more than 600 partners interested in providing work from home products and services for customers. The Go Remote campaign, created for ScanSource and Intelisys partners, featured more than 20 suppliers and a virtual supplier showcase, as well as hot seat and on-demand sessions, lightning rounds, and live chats. Session topics included UCaaS, of course, networking, and security, all of which were geared toward the workplace of the future, helping partners start the Go Remote conversation and use ready-to-go products, solutions, and services. The Go Remote Virtual Summit is available on demand until June 18th. The next in ScanSource's series of educational events for partners is Power Hours, an 8-week series on financial business health. Sessions run on Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Eastern Time through July 21st. Learn more and access these great resources at intelisys.com/go-remote. With 2020 going haywire, everyone has adjusted the way they operate. This includes strategies, schedules, and deadlines for award ceremonies and nomination processes. The application deadline for MSP 501 submissions is no exception. Informa has extended the deadline to June 30th in response to many who have requested the extra time. The MSP 501 application process can be lengthy. To make things as easy as possible, last year's applicants can send a request to msp501@informa.com to receive a survey link with last year's numbers pre-populated from their 2019 submission. Results from this year's applications will be announced in early July. Last week, Jobra's Carl Bateson shared some truly inspiring stories of corporate, social responsibility, and charitable outreach. We love these types of stories and fully embrace and endorse the philanthropic spirit. Avaya has teamed up with the American Red Cross to leverage the benefits of mobility and cloud innovation to further its humanitarian mission and provide assistance to people and communities when they need it most. The Red Cross, under its One Contact Center initiative, is migrating 12 separate contact center platforms, each with differing technologies, to the Avaya OneCloud CCaaS platform. This announcement coincides with the migration of the toll-free 1-800-RED CROSS number and several other mission-critical inbound numbers to Avaya Mobile experience. The goal is to reduce call wait times and provide agents with additional call data in those situations where critical care and rapid response are needed most. Well, now I see in the prompter that we have Rob Butler joining the show. to talk about Channelpalooza. How exciting! You know, had I received the script sooner, I would have put 2 and 2 together and waited to hear from him before heading down here. Now, excuse me while I try to get my hotel deposit back.
Nancy Seco reporting from Lake Travis, the once and future site for Channelpalooza. Like Nancy, we were all very excited to see the announcements that Channelpalooza was on again this year. Also like Nancy, we can hardly wait for August 5th and 6th to get here. But while we wait for the real thing, we are joined today by one of the creators, Rob Butler, expert in the field of cloud voice, also known as Hosted PBX. Rob, welcome to UCaaS Connection.
Thanks for having me.
Now, as I understand it, you were among the founding members of Channelpalooza. So tell us about those early conversations.
Sure. So it started, I was at my previous job. I was in the last year of my previous job, and really it was a way, the convergence between many of the different industries, hosted voice, cloud, telecom, were just really starting to come together. And at the time, my job was really to understand the different industries and look for new revenue streams. And so several of us from different industries got together early, and we wanted to find a reason to get together to have some fun because we were friends. But more importantly, we wanted to find a way to work together. And we went down to San Marcos, Texas, got on the river, spent 4 hours floating the river, and had a lot of fun. But we talked a lot about business, about how the industries were a lot alike, and how we could find a way to kind of begin to work together to really kind of solve customer needs. We definitely accomplished our mission of having fun, and we got a lot of business accomplished, and we realized that it was an opportunity for us to continue to do this. And so that's really where the idea kind of sparked from, was to again, to bring people together. And then as the convergence between industries has just come together over the years, it's just made the event better and better every year.
Well, since the early beginnings of Channelpalooza, how have you seen it change and grow since its inception?
Oh, it has changed a lot. So as I mentioned, years ago, several of us started. There might have been a handful of us, maybe 5 people. And again, just a very small group going down to have fun. But we were all kind of leaders in the space we were working in. And as we got together and drove down on the bus and got out, we kind of knew we had something that would be kind of fun, and we wanted to do it again. And so we finished up that event, our first event that first year, came back, talked to a lot of different people about what had happened, what we accomplished, and quite frankly, how much fun we had. And as you can imagine, many more people wanted to come and attend. And so the second year, we probably doubled the size. We had 10 or 15 people. And that got up the third year. And I believe it was the third or fourth year where we actually wrapped inside of a data center industry that was actually happening, or event that was happening in Austin at the same time. And so we connected with them and quickly grew the event to several hundred people that third or fourth year, almost to the point where it was a little bit too big. And so we were a little bit unorganized and not ready for an event that large, I believe. We kind of tweaked some things, made it a little bit better, and have made it really into a much more well-organized event with a lot of people. That it's an event where you focus on having fun and a lot of networking connections where you can get business accomplished.
Let's drill down into that a little bit, Rob. What about Channelpalooza is unique, and what is it about that uniqueness that draws attendees every year?
Sure. The uniqueness, I think, is the fact that it's a very short event. You know, we say it's 2 days, but typically it's an evening event followed by a full day event. So people get to come in, they get to accomplish what they need, which is, meet connections and take care of some business, have some fun, and then get back to their business very quickly. So we kind of cut out a lot of the fluff. We try to eliminate a lot of the panels and presentations where, quite frankly, a lot of the material is stuff that people are familiar with. And we get right into the networking, where we get an opportunity to allow people to meet each other in person, because the event itself is held in Texas, it's held in Austin, and the majority of the people that come in for this event are from the Texas area. And so it's an opportunity for Texas partners to meet Texas suppliers and Texas vendors, and anybody kind of plays in the area and the space from all over the state.
So clearly this face-to-face is super important. So what precautions are organizers taking to keep attendees safe during this year's event?
Yeah, absolutely. That is first and foremost a big thing that's on our mind. We are going to be abiding by all the local laws in Austin. So, we've got social distancing. We'll be wiping down surfaces. We're going to obviously no handshaking for people. Most of the event will be outdoors. So we're going to be doing a lot of the event outdoors. We've got rooftop experiences going on. We've got stuff for the full day event plan where that'll be all outdoors. We've got hand washing stations set up, and there will be doing temperature checks for all events for people coming in.
Outstanding. Now, we're definitely going to have you back again to talk about Xvergence, but for the moment, tell us a little about the cloud voice experts.
Yeah, so the Xvergence side is actually the marketing arm for Xvergence, specifically focusing on the hosted space telecommunication. What we found is that there's a lot of noise in the industry where folks are just being they're covering a lot of topics and being generalists, and we wanted to kind of reach out to the market and show the industry and show the customers that we have unique experience and expertise in the space of hosted PBX.
Rob Butler, thank you so much for joining us today and giving us something to look forward to in August. My friend, we will see you then.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
All right. Digital Realty is a leader in data center and IT solutions across the world. And our next guest, Morgan Granfield, is here to make us our digital world a little better, if I say so myself. Morgan, welcome to UCaaS Connection.
Thank you so much for having me, Larry. It's been an absolute pleasure working with your team, and I speak for everyone at Digital Realty when I say we're so excited to be featured today.
The honor is all ours. Now, before we get into it, Digital Realty is a global organization with what seems to be a constantly extending footprint. Let's take a look. Back, and my guest is Morgan Granfield with Digital Realty. Morgan, we've seen lots of posts and features lately about this. How large is the Digital Realty footprint now, and how much growth is on the horizon?
You would have seen announcements about breaking ground in Chile on 2 data center projects outside of Mexico City. Of course, the one we just saw, the 12-story building in Seoul. We break ground on that tonight, so find the event out there on the web and join. We'd love to have you at our virtual groundbreaking in Toronto. But the announcement I'm most excited about is Paris Digital Park, because it's the most beautiful data center I have ever seen. Those will be buildings numbers 8, 9, 10, and 11 in Paris for us. But to answer your question, we have a combination of Digital Realty and Interaction Properties. We completed that acquisition in March, and so now we operate around 275 data centers and growing in more than 20 countries and 6 continents.
That is a lot of data, Morgan. Now, we've all heard this buzzword, digital transformation, and I know it's a phrase that's used a lot within digital realty. So can you first explain to our audience, what is digital transformation?
Digital transformation is so many things to so many different companies. It just really depends. Kelly Morgan was featured alongside our own Tony Bishop last Tuesday. She's from 451 Research, part of the S&P Global Market Intelligence Group. And the way she put it, digital transformation might mean process or supply chain automation. It might mean improved customer experience or employee productivity. It might mean preparing for the use of AI or IoT.
And so what is Digital Realty's role within an enterprise's digital transformation journey?
So, the what of digital transformation is really unique for each individual company, but the how of digital transformation is something that we at Digital have perfected down to a science over our long tenure as a leader in this space. And so, what we're asking of our customers is to rethink when they engage us in that journey. Traditional colo providers get a request for so much space and so much power. And typically, that's a centralized repository for databases or applications. And then it's really like location and price that determines the winner. We believe we should be brought to the whiteboard at the genesis of their journey so that we can recommend the proper strategic framework for their future systems that will enable them to be a leader and not a lagger. Those are Accenture terms, I think. They posted the best white paper on this topic. I'll try to put a link in the comments for this post so you can all check it out. Today, businesses invest in technologies, but leaders are seeing 2 times the revenue growth because they're building what Accenture calls future systems. And companies across the world they believe that architecture flexibility is the biggest of the 4 barriers to innovating at scale.
Thanks for that, Morgan. Now we're going to switch gears just a bit and dive into Digital Realty's Platform Digital, what it is and what it solves, and we're going to do that right after this.
Data gravity is the biggest challenge facing all companies and all companies on a go-forward basis. It's applying the laws of physics, it's applying the laws of IT, and it's intersecting in with digital transformation. Data is being created now everywhere. What used to be created in a very centralized place, and you brought users or systems to the data, with digital technology, social, mobile, analytics, cloud, IoT, now that data is being created everywhere. In our buildings, on our smartphones, right, in our homes, in the cities itself as you walk down the street. As that data gets created, it needs to be able to be aggregated together to be able to bring insights and improve the process or experience. As that data collects and is stored, more and more applications and services start to use it. As more and more applications start to use it and more services, it becomes a compounding effect. And within that compounding effect, you have the inability to move it. And as you have to deal with movement, you also have to factor in things like where businesses are located, where their users are, and what are the regulations required around that information. Data privacy, compliance, regulation around data is becoming very top of mind agenda and critical to global companies. So you look at data gravity and you go, this is a fundamental challenge that all organizations have to figure out how to solve and address this as they look at where they do business or as they look at global growth and they are adding new locations of business on a go-forward basis.
And we're back. All right, Morgan, you were here for the previous segment, so you already know where we're going with this. Platform Digital, give us the what, the why, the how, and most importantly, what do we need to know?
So, Platform Digital is really simply just a set of best practice recommendations. Basically, what we did was we analyzed, the common blueprints and architectures that the largest global companies were deploying in our data centers, and we transcribed those into layman's terms, marketable and consumable reference architectures that companies of any size could implement. You don't have to reinvent the wheel every time, is what we're saying. We know how to do this better than anyone else in the world. And so Platform Digital is our language. It's how we communicate and go to market with those best practices so that companies can follow suit. We know that the best topology for storing large sums of data look like, and we know what the network should look like between business offices and remote users and consumers and partners and anyone else in your unique ecosystem. And so Platform Digital is how we share that with the rest of the world.
Now, as a channel manager, your responsibilities include increasing sales through your network of trusted advisors, system integrators, VARs, etc. Since joining Digital Realty, how would you describe your experience working in the channel?
I was raised in the channel through the telecom industry, and we've had so many exciting breakthroughs in telecom over the past 10 years. Butler was just alluding to that of UCaaS. Hosted voice was a huge breakthrough. Cloud applications, huge breakthrough for businesses. Most recent one would be the adoption of SD-WAN as a best practice. And I remember back when I sold the first fiber circuit in the Dallas market for CBeyond at the time. And I thought, man, I'm really changing the lives of these business owners, giving them a competitive advantage. And all those technologies I just mentioned are table stakes nowadays. So the big problem that customers are currently solving for is, now that I've adopted these technologies, how do I optimize those technologies? How do I maintain security controls while enabling my employees and partners and customers to have the very best experience interacting with my brand? Where do I shift my legacy apps and IT infrastructure to mitigate network bottlenecks? How do I adopt the cloud platforms without breaking the bank? So these are all the thoughts that are keeping business leaders up at night. And that is the value that Digital Realty is providing to our customers right now.
Now, you just mentioned some companies are breaking the bank operating in the cloud. Can you expand on that and tell us what you mean by that?
Okay. Well, for companies who are early adopters of cloud, or who were born in the cloud, as we like to say, it's no secret that egress charges are a killer to IT budgets. So listen, cloud service providers are some of the best customers for data center providers. And just imagine what our economy would be like today if we weren't able to use their services to keep our businesses running with 100% remote workforce. So I think, first of all, we should just take a minute to appreciate what we've all been able to accomplish these past several months.
Yeah.
But the real story here, sorry.
No,
the
please.
real story here, though, is that so data grows and it becomes harder and harder over time the more that you grow your data. So you saw the video of Tony Bishop describing the negative effects of data gravity, which is a term coined by our own Dave McCrory. And I'll try not to geek out, but my formal background is in the sciences. So I like to picture our solar system, and we're currently sitting on Earth and we're stuck to the ground. The bigger planets have more gravitational pull, but the space between the planets keeps us from being pulled off of Earth into Jupiter's atmosphere, because space is the key. So if you're thinking about data across a country or across a region or across the globe, to have centralized data is really detrimental to the future growth of a business. Platform Digital gives that prescribed data center architecture that you can deploy in your key markets, whatever makes sense for your business, so that you're able to overcome those data gravity barriers and maintain a competitive edge.
That was a great analogy. And by the way, you are on the one show where it is perfectly okay to geek out anytime you want. Let's move on. Tell me a little more about your channel partner program.
First of all, I came to work for this team because my channel chief and sales leadership have built the very best channel program in our space. We have a full sales harmony model that allows our partners access to a network of highly skilled reps across the globe, so that wherever your customer is, we have local representation. We also have a team of regional channel managers like myself and a channel marketing machine to support our partners and ensure the combined success of our customers.
From your conversations with partners, what are their biggest, most common misconceptions about digital realty?
Good question. Some partners think that we're only a real estate provider, that we only build data centers for data center providers. And we do that, but we offer a full spectrum of data center solutions, anything from a single cabinet up to a multi-megawatt hyperscale facility where the entire building is dedicated to, a single customer, and everything in between along that spectrum. Also, not so much a misconception, but our partners are often surprised at Digital Realty's sustainability goals and our effort to reduce our environmental impact. This is, not just hippie stuff. These are very important goals for the largest corporations around the globe, so it's important to note. Our long-term goal is to power our global portfolio with 100% renewable energy. We've already met that goal across the 50-odd facilities in EMEA under the Interaction umbrella. And we've more than doubled our renewable energy sourcing over the past few years for the remainder of our portfolio, with the goal of bringing our customers into purpose-built, sustainable data centers that stand the test of time.
Morgan Granfield, it has been a genuine pleasure. Congratulations on Digital Soul, and you have an open invitation to come back anytime. Thanks for your time.
Thank you so much.
Well, we've got one more guest here to tell you about a new show that's coming up on Thursday. But before we get to Eric Brooker, we want to remind you that this show, your show, is built around you, your business, and your stories. So help us keep the conversation going.
If you would like to be a featured guest on UCaaS Connection, let us know. We are here to help you tell your story. Visit us at ucaasbeat.com or through our UCaaS Connection social media pages. You can request an interview, submit stories, updates, big wins, or anything else that's newsworthy by emailing us at featureus@ucaasbeat.com. These are your stories, and this is your show.
Now, unless you've been on a years-long sabbatical from all forms of technology, you are familiar to some extent with SD-WAN. Our production partners at UCaaS Beat, along with some familiar faces, want to help you go deeper. Our good friend Eric Brooker from BigLeaf Networks is here to tell us more. Eric, welcome back to UCaaS Connection.
I appreciate it. Really excited to be here.
Okay, the SD-WAN Show. What is it, when is it, and how did it come about?
So it is this Thursday. We're thrilled to be a part of it. This is going to be something different. This is going to be something really that the industry needs. There's been an evolution in technology. We need a forum for people to better understand that technology. And this forum with the speakers, the guests that we're going to have is going to be a great forum for that conversation. And really, to answer your other question, it really all started with the power of social media. One of our guests is an agent by the name of Matthew Toth of C3 Technology Advisors. He posted on LinkedIn the power of SD-WAN with a single circuit at home and the impact it can have. And I just made a quick comment and a like you do on social media. And every time I kept coming back, I kept seeing more and more comments and likes and questions. And what we're finding is the industry, the agents, the customers have more and more questions. So this is going to be a forum to answer some of those questions.
And getting into that, Eric, what is it that you hope viewers will glean from this new show?
Yeah, so there's an evolution going on in this industry. Working from home is a term that we all know now. It's becoming very much a new norm. Because of COVID, it's happening far faster than we ever expected. SD-WAN is becoming a new norm because of that, both at home and in the office environments alike. We'll have subject matter experts on, sharing a wide variety of views of where it fits and how it fits, giving different examples. Bottom line, there's a lot to learn, and we'll have all the right people to discuss the technology and the implications of not having the technology as we evolve the internet.
Okay, you just teased us a little there about your guests, so I'm going to see if I can draw a little more out of you about who they might be or what fields they might be in. Give us something.
Yeah, great question. Matthew Toth, as I mentioned, is with C3 Technology Advisors. He's been an agent for about 12 years, so super excited. He's had a wide variety of success with a variety of different technologies. Again, because of the LinkedIn post, it lent itself to some great conversation. This is a topic that he's very passionate about, and a couple of other names that a lot of you already know. Scott Forbush. Scott is the Senior Vice President of Sales at Teleris, one of the largest master agents in the world. Scott sees SD-WAN from a number of different angles. And then a dear friend of mine, I'm thrilled to be doing the show with Michael Brennan. Michael Brennan is a friendly competitor to BigLeaf Networks. Michael is the channel chief at QoS Networks. We play in a different space, which again lends itself to him giving a different perspective. So this will be great. And then, of course, myself. I've been in the SD-WAN space for 4 or 5 years, and it's something that I'm really passionate about.
I tell you what, Brooker and Brennan sounds like a sitcom that practically writes itself, but I got one more question for you. What is BigLeaf's role and relationship with SD-WAN?
Yeah, so we're an SD-WAN manufacturer based out of Portland, Oregon. Many would I would argue that we were in the space before SD-WAN had a name, or before the phrase was coined, SD-WAN. We know the industry. I'd like to think of us as a leader in the industry, and really just thrilled again to be a part of this conversation on Thursday.
Well, there you have it, folks. The SD-WAN Show premieres this Thursday at 2 p.m. Central right here on this very network. Eric, best of luck with the show. Join us again in the future, and for now, you take care, sir.
Thank you. You as well.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is our show for this week. I want to thank our guests, Rob Butler from Xvergence, the organizers and sponsors for Channelpalooza, Morgan Granfield from Digital Realty, and Eric Brooker from BigLeaf Networks. Now, it says there I'm supposed to have a video close, so let's just see if I've got more script. Oh, it does. Hey, here it is. This is my big outro every week, you guys, but somehow it didn't make it into the teleprompter. I'm sorry. Here's the big sign off. Be sure to tune in to the SD-WAN Show. Until then, be safe, keep your distance, and always, no matter what, stay connected.